Howdy y'all, welcome to Lex Lives. Ow. I think it's time to play a little Minecraft. Alright, back to work on the river. Because that is where I left off. I thought I was gonna be playing some D&D today. But, looks like that is not happening. For more, I know we made plans, but I've changed my mind about the plans we made, and I thought I'd let you know 5 minutes before we were supposed to start, instead of earlier in the day, so that you could have made other plans. So instead you've been sitting around waiting for the last hour for us to show up, and just figured, you know, your time's not as important as ours. This is why I don't like people. Period. Just period. There's nothing else to go with that statement. I just don't like people. 'Cause they always treat me like this. I also... If you know when someone eats their lunch/dinner on a particular day, it's not okay to make phone calls because you know they're going to be home. That's not okay. We just sat down for lunch, which we eat as a family on Sundays. And, you know, got the various grub on my plate, and I'm eating my lunch/breakfast since I hadn't eaten anything yet. And lo and behold, the telephone rings, and it's for me. And they're like, "You gonna answer that?" I'm like, "Heck no." Well, that's your friend calling, though. He knows when we have lunch. Ain't nothing he's gonna say important enough for me to end the middle of my meal, let my food get cold, just because he wants to probably tell me about some tweet he saw or some video he saw on YouTube. That's not gonna happen. It wasn't important enough to email me or leave a message or anything like that, then it's not important enough for me to disrupt my meal. You know, that's why the answering machine is set to 5 rings. So if you really feel the need to answer or leave a message, it's available. I've got voicemail on my phone, my cell phone. Answering machine on the house phone, which is the one he called. I've got email. There are texts. I've got 2 different messenger services that we're both part of, Discord and I probably wouldn't see anything else besides Discord because that's the only one I open, but he's one of those people that calls because he's driving someplace and is bored. Which I hate. I especially hate because the people I know, when they call you while they're driving, are usually on their way to do something, and they may or may not stop talking to you while they're doing the thing they've driven off to do. Oh yeah, I was going to pick up some food. I've got to order it at the place. I've walked into the place. Can you hold on a second while I stand here and order my food and discuss the menu options with the person behind the counter while you were basically on hold. Like, I don't have better things to do with my day. I just... uh, yeah, so I think the last episode I talked about how nobody told me where they were going. They finally got back. Now, this is going to lead into today's story of not playing D&D. So we've got Friday they decide on a whim to go shopping. Wasn't planned, that's why it wasn't written down anywhere. Realized they hadn't told me after they ate dinner at 8 o'clock at night, and still decided not to say anything, and didn't get home till almost 11. As I said before, a lot of times when they go someplace, they bring dinner home, and so it's not often that I make dinner for myself like that. And so I didn't know whether to make dinner or wait for them to get back, because I don't want to eat and then them show up with a bunch of food for me that they've paid for, and then I'm like, well, now I'm not hungry, and, a lot of food's not really that great when you heat it up the next day. And, so it was 9 o'clock before I finally decided, well, they're not coming back, and I am too hungry to wait now. And so they get back about, like I said, 10:30. They don't say anything. They don't yell down that they're home or anything like that. Nope. I just I didn't even hear them get home, and then I went upstairs to use the bathroom, and when I came upstairs, they were there like, hey, just so you know, we're not going to be home all day, and you're going to have to make your own dinner. Thanks. So you knew you should have said something and didn't bother to. Just checking. Just checking. And so Saturday they were making so much noise that I finally just got up. And when I went upstairs, they were all leaving again. And they were going to parades or something. And so after the parades, then they went off someplace else, and this still ties into the story. Don't worry, it's all one big piece here. And so then we get to today, and we didn't play last week because I'm not sure. They said they didn't want to get everybody sick, but everybody got sick anyway, so it didn't really help. And so I almost think it was just a pouty moment, because my group that I'm DMing for met a vampire, and my vampires are Dracula-style vampires, not crazy monsters. I mean, some of them might be crazy monsters, but I like a thinking vampire and not a bloodlust-driven insane monster. Otherwise, why even have it be a thing? Like, why would it infect people if it wasn't something that could be mildly controlled? But, I mean, still, the person that's infected is... they're not... I don't know. I mean, they're not necessarily good people. They aren't going to be good vampires, but they're lawful evil vampires, definitely, which is the one they ran into. Lawful evil is the same morality setting as a businessman. They use the rules to get what's best for themselves. Most people are probably on the side of lawful evil, which is why I feel the whole system is misnamed. I think it should be. I don't think it should be evil good. It should be generous selfish. So chaotic selfish, does whatever they want, and they don't care if other people get hurt by it. Which in the eyes of some people would be evil, but just because something is chaotic selfish doesn't necessarily mean that it's evil, just mean. And anyways, I feel like the one guy was pouting because we didn't fight the vampire. Instead they talked to it. And so he's the one who decided he didn't want to play because he didn't want to get everybody sick after the previous week of kind of throwing a fit for the 20 minutes they talked with the vampire about how he wanted to fight it. And he was sick of talking with it. And although I'm sorry, they weren't repeating themselves. They were carrying on a conversation about what was going down in the town that they have to fight in, and getting information about the town. So I'm not sure what more he wanted there. I guess it was just the fact that it was the vampire, and he I guess doesn't like vampires. I guess everybody else was like, well, he hasn't done anything to make us want to fight him. And anyways, so we didn't play last week, and then they went shopping on Friday. They went to the parades and stuff on Saturday, and so then we get to today, and now they're having a big party for the 4th of July, which I mentioned that I've been invited to, but I have not RSVP'd. It's at my house. I don't feel like I should have even gotten an invite. It's weird that I got an invite to me. I know it upset my mother that she didn't get an invite because she's crazy like that. And like, we'll get an invite to something. One person will get an invite, and it will say blah blah blah's name, like Lack and family. And she'll be like, well, I wasn't specifically invited, so I don't feel like I'm supposed to go. Are you not the family? Yeah, but I didn't get my own personal invitation, so maybe I shouldn't go. Really? You can have mine. I don't even want to be invited, honestly. And, so yeah, she's really pouty like that. And so she mentioned the fact that she didn't get an invitation to the 4th of July party that is at the house, and that maybe they asked her to make this salad that she makes. Maybe she shouldn't make the salad because she didn't get invited. And I'm like, whatever. I don't have time to deal with your guys' crazy people drama. And there's a lot of it. And so yeah, so then we get to today, and my brother-in-law basically sits around and plays video games as much as possible, and he has done so most of the week as normal. He does other things, but it'd be like run downstairs, put in a load of laundry, and then go back up and play video games, and then sometime later wander down to take the clothes out of the washing machine and put them in the dryer. Not when it's done, just sometime later. And so I'm not sure how I want to do this. think I'm gonna run the water all the way over to here. And so there are things that needed to be done apparently before the. We'll ignore the fact that he has nothing to do tomorrow, and he's gonna be here all day tomorrow. But they're like, oh, is there any way that we could wait until like 5 o'clock to get started today? And I'm like, okay. And they're like, that's not going to be a problem, right? If we wait till 5 o'clock to get started today. I'm like, no, it's not a problem, whatever. And they're like, okay, well, we'll start at 5 and then we'll play till 8 or so. I'm like, okay, so that's like 2 hours shorter than we normally play, but whatever. And this is why I don't put super large amounts of prep time into our game, because they don't show up for stuff. So I did do some recording, which I don't normally do before the D&D session, but we usually start the D&D session as soon as... That's not what I want to do. As soon as the... I'm going to go ahead and run this over a little bit more. I want to get just a bit more water across through here if it'll let me. Yeah, what is the problem here that this doesn't want to finish this off? You know what? Now I've got all this over here. I don't like it. Taking it down. And so I do some recording, and then I'm like, well, I still got some more time here. I guess I'll play some Subnautica, which is a game that I see just had a major update. I bought it a long time ago, and I haven't played it in like 8 months. It's early access, I think, still maybe. It might not be early access anymore, but it was early access at one point, and so I, was kind of waiting for it to get more into the game, because there wasn't a lot in the game when I was playing it before. Some base building and stuff, but it looks like they've got a lot more in the game now, and so I wanted to try that out, and so come on, I don't want any of this higher level water. Get out of here. Okay, there we go. That works for me. This works for me. And then I'll just come through here and take this part here out. Okay. And then that gets me water down through here. Out and around. Where's my bow? Yes. All right. All right. So we got our water. Nice. So, come on, get up here. Alright, so I want to make it daytime, and then we'll go take a look at the river and probably call it a day. We'll do a shorter episode today. So we get to 5 o'clock, and my sister comes downstairs, and I'm like, oh, they must be ready to get started here. And so she gets down here, and she's like, do you think it'd be all right if we played tomorrow? I have paperwork that has to be turned in tonight, and if I don't turn it in tonight, I don't get my bonus. I'm like, yeah, fine, whatever. It'd been nice if you'd have let me know that, I don't know, 2.5 hours ago, so I could have not sat around waiting to do things. Because basically I like to talk about what we did during this episode, and so I could have had this recorded and the other things recorded for tomorrow, and already been into what I'm doing with the rest of my night, but no, now I've got to, now I've got this recorded. Not that I don't enjoy doing this, don't get me wrong, just, it's the whole, why didn't you just say something earlier in the day? I forgot, and I just, my husband reminded me that I need to get it turned in before, or it has to be turned in tonight. Okay, so let me get this straight. You have paperwork that you knew had to be done before midnight, I'm guessing, and so you went to fireworks. Oh, they went to fireworks last night too. So you went to fireworks, a parade, and a shopping trip, knowing this had to be done. And so it's only when you get to something that involves my time that it suddenly becomes an issue. I see. Especially since we're only play for 3 hours. So if you end any time before midnight, then all you did was wasted my afternoon for no reason. Like if she's done by 3, or 9, I mean, we could have still played for 3 hours today, like was the original plan. So now let's double up on that. So tomorrow, of course, I have work, and then Monday evenings are like my only true evening where I don't have something going on. And Tuesday is the 4th of July, and they're having a big party here. And so I'm not going to be able to do my normal Tuesday night recording sessions. I have to do the Tuesday night stuff early because I won't have a chance to do them. Man, I have a lot of seeds. I won't have a chance to do them on Tuesday night because we won't be done till close to midnight, and that means that I have to double up the Tuesday night recordings for Monday night, and now I'm not going to get Monday night because I'm going to be playing D&D, which means now I have to spend the rest of my evening doing Monday's recordings and Tuesday's recordings because they can't follow any kind of schedule that is beneficial to anyone but themselves. Yep. Alright, well, I am going to call it here, so click like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.